Hey, good morning, Facebook. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday, episode number 19 of the Daily Dose with yours truly, Mark Avens, creator, coach marketing, call me creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. I help moms and dads with weight loss, help them do so without long workouts and impossible diets. Good morning to you. Welcome to the Daily Dose. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're coming on live, if you're catching me on a replay, maybe later on, maybe you didn't see this today or tomorrow, welcome. What's up, Katie? Thank you for all the hearts. Love it. Deb, what's going on? Hey, I'm going to get in touch with you, Deb. We'll connect after this. Welcome to the Daily Dose. I'm in my home office right now. It's kind of crazy. And today we're going to talk about tow ropes. Do you need a tow rope? You're going to hang on. This is going to be a really, really good one. It's Throwback Thursday. We're going to just put it all together. I still kept my contacts out. I don't know if you like these. I don't wear glasses often. I have contacts that I typically use, but I've given my eyes a little rest. And I just honestly got lazy yesterday and just kept my glasses on all day. And, I went to bed and I was too lazy to put them on now. So I need to get those back in my eyes. But listen, I'm in my home office. Kids are in the house taking over. We're at the beach here, and we have a little small house close to the beach. We sacrifice size for the beach, and that's not what I want to share with you. But the kids are inside. Just to kind of preface what's going on here. Welcome. What's up, Katie and Deb? Appreciate you for being here. I'm going to do this while people are coming on. Thank you. Just come on here. Let me know where you're at in this world. If you want to share where you're living, how things are going, all those things. If you like this, all I ask is that you share it. Kids are inside doing work. My home office is kind of pushed to the backyard, but it's cold out today. Yes, I live in Florida. Yes, it is still cold. It's like overcast and chilly. I put on a hoodie and I got a hat on, and I said, I'm not doing it outside. So I'm giving you today's Daily Dose. Hey, Seth, what's going on? Wendy, appreciate you for being here. For today's Daily Dose, why am I doing this first? Let me just share it with you in 20 seconds. I'm doing this because I've really been feeling, honestly, in general, before even this whole coronavirus and lockdown, is we all tend to get daily doses. We're getting daily doses of maybe good things in our lives, or getting daily doses of not so good things, bad things, right? And whether it's related to your health, whether it's related to what you watch, if it's TV, the things you read, the things you hear, the people you spend time with, the relationships you have. And now I feel like in a times where there's a lot of negativity, daily doses of negativity, it surrounds us, right? The world surrounds us, even beforehand, but even now more, it seems like it's magnified. And instead of complaining and the BMW of it, the bitch, moan, and whine about it, I want to do something about it. And as a coach, as a health and fitness coach, I've kind of made my entire life and my pursuit of helping and encouraging others. Now, mind you, it's being health and fitness, but there's a lot more to it than just the physical component, helping people with nutrition and exercise. There's also a mental component and a mindset, and helping people stay positive, because it is hard, regardless of where you're at in your walk and your health walk. It's hard to stay focused on the positive, on the openness of the making improvements and progress towards your life in general, right? So this is the Daily Dose. Hope you like it. All I ask, good morning. What's up, man? Appreciate you for being here. Mark, appreciate you as well. Thank you too for watching me. You guys have been awesome. I know, where you could be spending your time 8 o'clock in the morning watching other things, checking out other things. You're choosing to spend it with me, and thank you. So I don't want this to be lightly. This is not just to blow smoke and blow puff and just to yip yap and kill time. There is a purpose to this. I want to encourage you today. And my encouragement is a little bit of a throwback. So I want to share the story why I said this being, do you need a tow rope? Because isn't that the case? I'm going to share that story in just a moment. Isn't it the case sometimes, regardless of how good we feel we're doing our life, and this is beyond just where we're at right now today, and you can apply it today, of course, that's why I'm doing it. But isn't it sometimes you feel like no matter how good things are going, no matter what your circumstances are, doesn't it feel like sometimes there's just certain things you feel like if you only had a tow rope, you know what a tow rope is, right? Where somebody can pull you, like if you think of a car, and I'm going to share that story, is being pulled by a tow rope. And maybe it's that tow rope to put you on that lift, that car if it's broken down. And being at Throwback Thursday and sitting in the Jeep. Now, mind you, I'm in my Jeep. It's not I mean, it's a nice Jeep. You know, at 47, I'm grateful to be able to have a car and drive, and I love Jeeps. In fact, it was my very first car, and that's the story I want to share with you. Hey, Cynthia, welcome, welcome. Thanks for watching. Daily Dose, appreciate you for being here. Again, all I ask is that you share this. If I can be an encouragement to you, chances are there's probably at least one person in your life, maybe on your Facebook page, you don't even maybe know, and if you share this, that would be awesome, and I'd super, super appreciate it. But back to the tow rope, my very first car and my car today. Now, in between, I didn't have Jeeps, but I had other cars. In fact, I have one that's right next to me, and my son drives it, and it's a 2002 Nissan Xterra. Fortunately, we don't need tow ropes for that. It has 109,000 miles. My son bought it from us. It was his very first car at 16. He is 16 right now. He bought it from us. It's still sitting in our driveway. But my Jeep, my first car, this is my son's first car. My first car in the 80s was an 83 CJ7. So it was a Jeep, CJ7. Yeah, I'll show you. Look, check this out. That's my son's car right there. It's the Xterra. If you didn't know about Xterras, it's a Nissan Xterra. That thing has been solid. In fact, we haven't really driven it. It's only got 100 and maybe 12, 9 or 10,000. I don't even know. I'm not in it. But it's been holding on. So the 83 Jeep CJ7, on the other hand, let me just share that with you. Not so much a reliable Jeep. The engine was great. In fact, it's what I could afford. I paid for my first car, just as my son paid for his first car from us. I paid for my first car when I was growing up. I had a good job, and I bought a used 83 CJ7. It was red. It had like the white wall, like rims, the white rims with the tires. And it was awesome. I lived up in Long Island, and I had that, and I thought it was awesome. It wasn't so awesome. In fact, why I want to share this with you is the story of the tow rope. One year, and this just to give you an idea, if you've ever had a car like this, my dad gave me as a Christmas present to me a tow rope. And this is before cell phones, right, and all that stuff. You know, we just had the pay phones, the ones you put the coins in. You know, that's what I'm dating myself. And my dad said, stop calling me to tow you. Here's a tow rope. Get your friends to tow you when your Jeep breaks down. That was kind of it. He was tired of me calling from a pay phone and saying, Dad, can you help me? I'm broke down on the road. My Jeep had the engine I loved. It was a straight 6, 5-speed Jeep. You ever had a Jeep, you know, standard? It was awesome. Learned how to drive stick shift, actually on a farm truck, and then I was able to drive the Jeep, and it was great. I had the top off. And the Jeep was literally a hunk of junk. Like, besides the engine and it being fun with the top, it was really a hunk of junk. I needed a tow rope. I loved it, but I needed a tow rope. And isn't that sometimes the case? The point is, and goes to other stories. I'll have to tell you lots of other ones. It just throws me back to this old Jeep. In fact, I remember one time, you have to listen, this is so funny. The Jeep was rusted out. I was driving down the road, and it was like Fred Flintstone, and you put your feet down through to like move the car. And I remember driving along, and I put my foot down, it went through the floorboard. It literally, it was rusted out, and it went through the floorboard, and I had this hole, and I had to put a piece of plywood, cut out piece of plywood on the floorboard in order to, it was a disaster. It needed a tow rope. One other thing, and then I'll go on to you got to listen, because this is so important with the message of encouragement for you today. In the window had the motor, and if you know anything about Jeeps, even if you don't, the engine of the motor for the windshield wipers were right up on like the front side. In fact, you'd hear the engine going, and the windshield wiper broke, and it was all rusted out, and the engine broke, and it was all stuff expensive. I couldn't afford to do it. And I lived up north where it was snowing and rain, and I remember the windshield engine broke, and I had no way. This is before even Rain-X, although that came into play later on down the road. I had to literally put my hand in the front. I'm going to show you right here. So in this Jeep, in the front here. So if you see that now, this is obviously a newer Jeep, but in the front, in that area, there was an area where the windshield wiper, you could literally put your hand down. I had to break through the rust, and I had to use it to move the windshield wipers manually. So I'm driving, I got one hand on the stick, I'm driving, and I put my hand down through the windshield there, the windshield wiper, to move the windshield. It was crazy. That was my 1983 Jeep CJ7. And again, I loved it, but it was a hunk of junk. And you know what? It was a disaster, and I needed a tow rope. So why explain this story? Well, first off, it's Thursday, Throwback Thursday. You had to hear that story. Secondly, Doesn't it feel like sometimes right now that, and even myself, that you need a tow rope? Like for me, getting up early in the morning, and I've shared this many a times. Hey, Lori, welcome, welcome. We have some mutual friends, by the way. Maybe we need to connect again. The tow rope is that, there's things in life, like no matter how good things are going, isn't there like at least a few things, and maybe there's a lot of things right now where you just feel like you need somebody to pull you along, somebody to tow you. Maybe your circumstances in your job right now is a disaster, and you really kind of feel like, gosh, if I could only get some help and get a tow rope. I was saying, I shared this before, is I get up in the morning, I spend quiet time with God. And again, even if you don't know what that necessarily all looks like, I still am working on it. It's still something, it's a work in progress. And it was really a work in progress from the beginning. And for me, it was about 10 or so years ago when I came to understand this whole relationship. But why I say that is that I don't know how I would feel probably right now like that old Jeep of mine back in the 80s when I had it and can you imagine a high school boy, like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, driving in a Jeep that was busted up? I mean, it was a complete disaster. Fortunately, I wasn't too reckless. I did get a couple tickets and banged it up and so forth. But again, like, I think of that. Now as an adult, it's like, oh, I should have things together in alignment. But even with that, even with some maturity and wisdom, there's still some things I feel like that if I need a tow rope. And for me, and I would say is in where I'm at, I realized I just couldn't figure it all out by myself. I realized that if I didn't lean in and understand, and I'm so grateful 10 or so years, a little bit more than 10 years now, for me is that this whole relationship with God and letting him be my tow rope, like that is so powerful. And I can tell you, even if maybe you feel like your car is really good right now. Maybe it's I say car figuratively speaking is just in sense where life's good. Like not much has changed. Like your family's good. You're able to pay your bills. In fact, things may be doing well. Maybe your business is doing really well. And I know that's not the case for a lot of people. And that's why I wanted to give you some encouragement, and not just, let's just say, using God as your tow rope. There may be some other people in your life. If your health is struggling, and I'm not necessarily talking about the coronavirus, I'm just talking about your health in general. If you've been kind of a disaster, if you've been that broken down old Jeep for a while, if your body is a mess, and again, I'm not pointing to me as in you need to get my help. I'm just pointing that maybe it's the time you get something to tow you, help tow your rope. Now, here's the cool thing is, over time, I got things that I needed to get fixed after that tow rope having to be pulled along. I didn't just rely on that tow rope. Here's the thing you need to listen to. This is a really important thing, and this is the finishing part of it, is that I didn't just rely on my dad pulling me. Obviously, he got that tow rope, and he said, dude, you go, literally, like, son, you go get some of your friends to tow you now. Well, I really realized that kind of sucked to have to rely on friends, too. Not to say that I didn't need them in the beginning, just as you may need some people in your life to help tow you along. But this is the biggest thing, is that if you're just relying on them all the time and not actually looking for how to be able to, like the Jeep, to get it fixed. Now we started working on it, and I got it fixed, and I learned how to do this stuff. And that's the thing, that right now you can stay stuck. You can stay in like disaster mode. If I didn't have a tow rope, the Jeep would be stuck. If I didn't get resourceful, if you will, if I didn't invest in the Jeep, it wouldn't have gotten fixed. And maybe this could be the best time right now that you're investing in yourself, investing in what's next, investing in maybe your job sucks or you don't have one, investing in what you need to do for the livelihood of yourself and your family, in your health, no different, right? This may be best time to invest, whether you do it with me or not, is that you make an investment in yourself right now, in your health, things that are going to help you progress instead of stay stuck or being broken down, like that old Jeep of mine, right? So that tow rope is kind of like that maybe starting point you do. You see, when people come into my coaching program, and I just have to share this because what I know, in fact, I have a handful of people this week that need a little bit of a tow rope right now. You know, we talked about guardrails the other day from going off the edge, bouncing off. And by the way, if you don't, you can go back and look at the episodes. This is episode 19 days straight. We're going to do this at 8 a.m. If you like this, come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Indefinitely, I'm going to do this daily show at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And that is, again, you can come and watch. You can catch the replay. It's on there. You can just scroll down to my feed or look up videos and find that and go back and watch the replay on guardrails. But now we're talking about a tow rope. Maybe you just need to be pulled along for a while until you learn, like I did, how to fix that Jeep, what you need to do so that you don't get broken down again. Because here's the deal. Here's like the honest truth right now. Is that chances are you've gone through some of those broken down periods, some of those disaster times in the past. Like there was many for me, and if you've ever been following me for any period of time, I'm pretty much an open book. I've shared that with you in the past, shared getting through things enormous, like enormous struggles and difficulties. 9/11. My wife was literally two blocks away from 9/11. We didn't have cell phones. We barely had, we had phone services, but they were all down. Planes were flying into buildings, and I didn't know where my wife, at the time, she was my girlfriend, a fiance actually at the time, so I didn't know where she was at. Like, that was something that I didn't know how I was going to get through that. And that was actually even before having my faith in alignment and actually pursuing a relationship with God. And that was really a disaster. That was one of the scariest moments in my entire life. I was uptown. I literally saw one of the towers come down from being on the top. Now, I was uptown, and I saw one of the towers come down. It was a nightmare, right? And again, we got through it. It was hard. And I can't imagine going through anything like now. I can't imagine not having some tow ropes to be able to pull you along, whether it be talking about the circumstance, talking about your health. But here's the point. If you can learn how to get through these, if you can lean on support, if you can lean on, say, a coach, or lean on your faith, or lean on other people in the community, people that you can rely on, depend on, that are going to build you up, not break you down, who are going to speak life into you and give you the energy and give you that encouragement that you need rather than the discouragement. Get off the news, get off the TV, do yourself a favor, stop with all that. That's only going to literally, it'll be a tow rope. You'll get a tow rope, and it'll be pulling you in the other direction. It'll be pulling you off the cliff, over the guardrails. If there's no guardrail, that rope tow will pull you down off the cliff. You won't just drive off it yourself. It'll pull you off the cliff. Does that make sense? Can you tell I'm encouraged? I'm encouraged. Listen, as much as I love to share this message with you, I was thinking of my Jeep as I got in here, and I said, you know what? I'm really encouraged. I had a message to you. I wanted to do a throwback. I wanted to share with you about the tow rope. Literally, was planning to get in my Jeep that doesn't require a tow rope. And I would say is hopefully if you do need somebody to help tow you, whether you reach out to me or you reach out to other people, don't try and go it alone. Don't allow the tow rope to pull you in the other direction, to pull you off the cliff. Because here's the thing, then the next thing that comes along, whether it's a coronavirus or coronavirus 2.0, God forbid that happens, the reality is something like that's going to happen. And you can work on things that are going to make sure that whatever comes next, that you're going to be, even if you can't really deal, like you can't fathom what the circumstances will be, at least you'll be able to weather that storm. I said this the other day. We're all going through a huge storm right now, right? Our whole entire world, our planet, is going through a storm. But what's interesting is to think that even though we're all in the same storm, we're all in a different boat. We're all in our own boats. And it really depends on which way you're steering your boat. How stable your boat is, how secure. What are you securing it? Are you securing about worry and stress and the news and what the reports are telling and how many people are dying and all those things? And that if that's going to be in your boat, chances are there's going to be some holes in that boat. Chances are that your boat could probably flip over. Again, am I coming with some analogies today? Anyway, not to get off the tow rope, back to that. Is that I hope if you do need a tow rope that you don't hesitate to use one. Or again, the other option is just to either let the tow rope pull you in the other direction or just stay stuck and stay broken down. So with that, that's all I have. I hope this is encouragement to you. It's not to like, oh, you know what? I'm being pulled back in the other direction. I'm watching too much news. I'm sitting by myself. I'm not connecting with other people. I can't tell you how encouraged I am by so many others. I've been messaging and reaching out, And even with my coaching clients, the encouragement my coaching clients kind of have it put together, because my program is designed on actually CJ7. I'll get there. But my coaching program, my Lean Body Breakthrough Coaching Program, is designed for men and women who are busy lives, who don't have the times to the gym. So the cool thing is they don't need gyms. My program's designed on home workouts to begin with. So they're kind of set up for success. And I will say is, I don't have the solutions for everyone. Again, this is just me providing some encouragement. But being in this business and in the health and fitness industry is that I'm providing a tow rope for a lot of people right now. Not just to keep them pulling them along, but to help and encourage them, to teach them what they need to do. So that way, whatever comes next, a lot of my clients right now are well prepared. They're doing well. They're losing weight, getting in great shape all throughout this. Is there still stress? Yeah, there's still some stress. But how good is it to come alongside a coach that you can walk through together? And that's not just in fitness, in any walk. Is, again, the tow rope might be needed right now, and that's okay. Let me check this out here. CJ7 was Swampers when his kids. Straight six, dude, that was it. Straight six, loud. That's so cool. Shows back and I'd be pulling a good story. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. CJ7, I think I'm done with cars. This Jeep is a 2014. We've had it. We don't do too much with it. I don't beat it up. Again, I'm 47. I don't take it off road too much, but I love it with the top off in Florida. It's a great Jeep. It doesn't need a tow rope. I've invested. Check this out. This is good that you mentioned. Hey, Sarah. I invested. Here's the reason how I was able to invest in this Jeep. Did it just come to me? No. Did my parents say, hey, here's a nice brand new Jeep. Here you go, Mark. No, I'm 47. I'm a grown man, right? I've pursued a career in health and fitness for the past 25 years, like my wife has in nursing for 20 something years. And here's the investment. I invested in myself. I invested in my education. I invested in my business. I invested in coaches. I invested in mentors. I invested in people who could teach me how to earn more money, to build the kind of financial ability to buy a Jeep. That was kind of it. Nobody gave this to me. There was no handouts. There was no stimulus. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's needed for a lot of people. But again, I'm not saying that I got it all together. In fact, I've made so many mistakes I can't even tell you. But I can say is that the investments I've made in myself and in my life over the years, I have a Jeep that's a reliable Jeep. I don't have to drive around. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of car. You can drive around a car that you need a tow rope. Chances are it's going to be frustrating. It's going to probably cause a lot of trouble. And again, I'm making more analogies here, but point is, we had to do some general maintenance on this and get an oil change, but we keep it up. We invest in it. We make sure that the mileage, when it needs oil change, tires rotated, make sure it's all safety checked, all those good things, right? And then we enjoy it. We don't need a tow rope. And that's what I say for you is, hey, what do you need right now? A tow rope, man. Is it your health? If it's your health, if you're struggling with your weight, if you're struggling with your fitness and are struggling with your stress and everything's jacked up now and there's a lot of things you can't control, you might be able to control this one thing, is getting yourself on a healthier path right now. And maybe that doesn't mean just Google searching the best, online workouts and Google searching nutrition plans and getting some free app or some cheap app. Those are there, not good. Just like I posted about gyms. I just made a post earlier about gyms and talking about gyms this might be the end of gyms. As we noted, if you haven't checked that out, I did a good one today. Go read it. It's the truth. It's a God honest truth. It's not to knock gyms. I used to own one, not a small one, like a box gym. I owned a training center. But I would say and it wasn't cheap, but I would say I'd be struggling right now too. But just typical gyms, they're meant to do one thing, really sell you on a gym membership. Is it a solution? Not necessarily. But if you need help, if you're struggling right now because your gym is closed, your snacking is going is going out the window, you're just buying all the snacks and eating them all, maybe it's time you need a tow rope. Maybe you need a coach in your life. If you do, send me a message. That's all you got to do. And we'll hop on a call. Listen, that's it. I don't want to be too much about the coaching. I just get encouraged I know there's a lot of people out there who need help, who know that I can help them, who maybe haven't jumped the fence yet, who are just nervous and scared. Here's the cool thing. And I share this, and I don't typically open up about this, but just because I'm excited about the Jeep and excited about that story and excited to be able to encourage you, is that there's people out there right now that need my help, that can afford my help, that meet the requirements to actually be in my program and are still sitting on that fence. And I would say is, here's the thing. I make it almost impossible to resist, because here's what I do. You come in my world, I'll guarantee you success. Money back guaranteed. It's pretty much a no-brainer. The only fear is that you're scared to take that jump over the fence to get started. That's it. Because if I can say, hey, come into my world in my coaching program and let me walk alongside you for the next 6 to 12 months. And if I can't get you exactly the results that you want to get based on the plan that we designed for you, and you work the plan, you don't get the results, I'll give you your money back or coach you for free until you can get those results. It's a no-brainer, right? Like, who does that? I know no gym is going to do that. Can you imagine if your gym, your $10 a month gym, said to you, Mr. Jones or Miss Bateman is, Miss Bateman, you're sorry not to point you out, just saw your name on there, is Miss Bateman, so it's $10 a month, here's the initiation fee, and Miss Bateman, for $10 a month, I'm going to guarantee you in the next 6 months, if you want to lose 50 pounds, that you're going to get that weight off, and it's just going to be your $10 a month, $10 per month, that's it, and we're going to give you everything you need, and if you don't, we're just going to give you a gym membership until you actually, for free, until you can get that. Can you imagine if people did that, right? I don't think so, because gyms aren't designed, box gyms aren't designed to get you results. They're designed to rent you equipment. That's it, whether you go or not. In fact, they're banking that you don't go. But again, that's a whole nother story. That's all I have for today. Listen, catch me about midday. I don't have anything specific designed as far as time frame, because I got coaching clients I got to get on a call with, and I got people I got to connect with my team. But I will say is that I have some questions that I need to answer. But about midday, I'm going to come on and give you some good, helpful tips. Health and fitness isn't going to be necessarily encouragement, but actually useful tips. So be on the lookout. Take care, and God bless. We'll see you.